to trust first is to trust ourselves. And that's what helps us develop self-confidence, self-esteem, those things that help us present ourselves with confidence, with courage. And so it's very important to trust ourselves. One of the reasons we may not be able to trust ourselves, or we don't choose to trust ourselves, is because we encounter challenges that maybe sometimes we can't overcome. And when we feel that we can't overcome these challenges, it makes us feel incapable. It makes us think that we're a failure. But what I like to encourage you to think about is failure is failure. It's not a reflection of who you are. Just because you fail at something doesn't make you a failure. And this is something I even have to remind myself that, okay, so that didn't go out too well, but that doesn't mean I'm a failure. It just that means that maybe that particular task I was working on, I wasn't quite ready for it, or I didn't have enough information to do it, or I just wasn't prepared. I didn't have enough resources, but it doesn't define who I am. So failure does not define who you are. It happened, and we can learn to move on. So, what are some things that we can do to overcome these challenges that we face, especially when we fail? And that's by removing you from failure. Just remove yourself. Just look at it like, okay, that happened. That's it. But it doesn't define who I am. So, the first thing would be, when we want to start trusting ourselves, when you start wanting to trust yourself, is, what are your expectations? What are your expectations in a particular project that you're working on? Are they realistic? So examine your presentation, your expectation. Did I set expectations that are realistic, or did I think that I had everything I needed, but I really didn't? So that's the first thing. Things will not always go perfectly. I can attest to that. I was given a presentation, and I was so excited about the presentation. I had all my things ready. I was going to use the dominoes, and I put them on the table. And 10 minutes before my presentation, thankfully my mom was with me, and I didn't even notice. She noticed, oh, what happened to the dominoes? Because she saw me just before I went to like 20 tables and I put out all the domino pieces. And she's like, what happened to the pieces? Only one table was left. Apparently the hotel staff just decided, you know what? We don't need to play dominoes today. We're just going to remove all the dominoes from the table. And 10 minutes before my presentation, I was scrambling. But one of my friends was calm me down, like, okay, it's going to be okay. We'll find them. Thankfully, we found them, and everything worked out great. But still, just because that happened, I still had to have that presence of mind, like, okay, that happened doesn't make me a failure, and not to work myself up because of that situation. So, when something happens, we can separate ourselves and say, okay, that happened, but it doesn't define who I am. So the first step is examine your expectation for that area. And if you need to, adjust your expectations. The other thing is to focus on your strengths. I've talked about this a few times. Singing is not, I can carry a note, but it's not my strength. So I don't focus on becoming a singer. Rather, I focus on becoming a better speaker because that's one of my strengths. So focus on your strengths. What are your strengths? And sometimes you might need to find some help to help discover what's really our strength. And one of the things I help my clients with is finding out their strengths, whether it's in the area of communication or whether it's in their area of starting business, what type of business suits their personality best. So if that's something you would like help with, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help with that. So focus on your strengths. And if something happens that didn't go the way that you would have liked it to go, bounce back. Bounce back. Resilience. Don't let anything hold you back. Just bounce back. You can do it. Find support if you need it. Find help if you need it. But have that mindset that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do this. And last but not least, find new ways to do things. Part of being innovative helps to bring that confidence, that boost. So find new ways to do your work. Try different things. See, okay, what's another way I can do this particular task? And you find that it works out. It will help you have more trust in yourself. The point is to have trust in yourself. So thank you again for joining me. It's been a great time. Today was a beautiful day, even though it rained practically all day long. Practically all day. So I had to change some of the things I was going to do today because of the rain. But hey, that's why we need to trust ourselves and be open to change. So thanks and have a wonderful